The Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper.
Jesus Christ, Son of God, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty then. Now, as always, I'm just keeping y'all updated on all this crapola that's going on in this fake ass matrix reality that we living in. So not too long ago, I was on one of my favorite websites called Before It's News. And that website led me to this video. This is from YouTube channel Marfugal News. And as you can see, the title of the video says, "This is not good." Uh-oh. Now, at the time that I'm recording this video, it's 8:46 a.m., July 3rd, 2019. And this video by Marfugal News called "This is not good" was streamed live 19 hours ago. All right, now give me a second. I'm gonna read y'all something. Y'all know I'm always talking about you gotta read. See, I reads. All right, now this video from Marfugal News called "This is not good." I'm just gonna read a little bit what he said. Now listen to this. Listen to this shit, niggas. Russia had a submarine with 14 folks inside that burned down. And that submarine was some super secretive mission. Vladimir Putin, president of Russia. Vladimir Putin was called back to the Kremlin. Mike Pence, vice president of the United States, Mike Pence at that exact same time was supposed to be in New Hampshire, but they turned his plane around, or jet, whatever. Then it was later reported that he never left. The usual conflicting reports. Then a report came out that Putin met with his defense ministers because the people on the submarine was poisoned. More conflicting reports, but let's find out what the fuck really went down. Now, again, this is from YouTube channel Marfugal News. The video is called "This is not good." All right. Now, again, as I'm recording this video, it's July 3rd, 2019. And on July 2nd, 2019, this video put up by YouTube channel JK Bugout. And the video is called U.S. Russian Sub Firefight, Pet Goat 2 Race War Propaganda. Alrighty then. Now, I'm gonna show a little bit of snippets, clips from this video, because this video he put up is like what is it? Yeah, it's almost an hour long. So I'm just gonna show a few clips from this video, and after that, I'll put an end to this video and tell y'all again what the fuck is really going on. So once again, I'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.
Today is July 2nd. Things are beginning to heat up. Today is when the eclipse occurred that went over Easter Island and also some of South America. That is in Pet Goat 2, and it depicts things that occur after the eclipse. specifically tying into the evening of the 4th going into the 5th of July 2019. Now, this is from Debka Files. Urgent consultations in Washington and Moscow on reported U.S.-Russian submarines in firefight. First reports reaching Debka Files military sources say that a U.S. submarine intercepted a Russian nuclear sub in American waters opposite Alaska. The Russian sub escorting the nuclear submarine responded with a Vulcan 2000 torpedo and scuttled the U.S. vessel. Okay, so what it seems to be saying is that there was a Russian sub escorting a U.S. nuclear submarine, so I guess following it, and the U.S. sub hit it with some type of attack and killed 14 people. Okay, and the Russian sub responded by shooting a torpedo at the U.S. vessel and scuttled the vessel. That means made them run off. Urgent consultations in both the White House and the Kremlin were taking place on Tuesday night. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence called off an appearance in New Hampshire after being recalled to Washington for a conference called by President Donald Trump without explanation. Russian President Vladimir Putin canceled an engagement and headed for the Kremlin to confer with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and military chiefs after learning that 14 submariners died in a fire that broke out on a nuclear-powered, quote, experimental submarine in Russian waters, okay, end quote. So the U.S. is saying it was in U.S. waters, in American waters opposite Alaska, which Alaska is very close to Russia, okay, and Russia is saying it was in Russian waters, okay. Now remember the big deal. Now people, look, Iran, now mind you, okay, when you listen to me talk, understand that I believe there is large scale collusion in the upper levels of the governments, okay? That's what I believe. Bilderberg, Illuminati, all that stuff, Club of Rome, that stuff is real. All right. So when I'm reporting these stories, I am saying that with that as the backdrop, okay? But there is a narrative. They have to sell the public on a narrative. They have to sell the military on the narrative to go along with these things. Okay, so there is a narrative that goes along with this thing. Now, what did we see a few days ago? We saw a U.S. military drone shot down in the Strait of Hormuz. And the U.S. said no, it was international waters. Iran said no, it was Iranian airspace. And because of this, a single drone that was shot down, an unmanned vehicle, an unmanned aerial vehicle, it was shot down, a drone. And Trump, according to the official story, he had authorized an attack that Friday morning in response to it, okay? To go over there and attack Iran, okay? To bomb, I think it was a nuclear facility or a military place. That would spark war. We were that close, according to the official story. Now, people that just go by the official story and they don't really investigate these things, take heed to that. How close we were to attacking Iran. Now, when we attack Iran, it is not going to be Kansas anymore. Okay, well, but the thing I'm pointing out is because of the discrepancy over a single drone saying it was international waters, no, it was Iranian airspace. There was almost a war that broke out, and Trump did do cyber attack over there in Iran, okay, and increased sanctions. Petco 2 is dealing with things that are occurring today and what follows thereafter. This is a major news story. Okay. On top of that, Iran exceeds uranium enrichment threshold. Now we're going to play this, but it's just listen to the fear propaganda. Oh, Iran can't get a nuclear bomb. Well, Iran was maintaining their end of the deal, and it was verified by the IAEA, or or IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. It was verified, okay? But Trump pulled out of the deal. So it's like breaking a deal with somebody and then standing back, and then whenever they do something outside of that deal that you broke, then you fault them for it. And that is ridiculous. Okay. But nonetheless, let's hear this how they're going to say it's tied into nuclear weapons and that's what they're after.
Is Iran moving closer to developing a nuclear warhead? The regime says it's stepping up its production of a crucial ingredient, enriched uranium.
We are in the process of doing our first phase of actions, both on increasing our stockpile of enriched uranium as well as our heavy water reserves. We have already announced our second phase of actions, which would be surpassing the uranium enrichment limit of 3.67%.
The figure of 3.67%, which is the equivalent of 300 kilograms, is well below that needed to produce even one nuclear weapon. That would require an enrichment level of more than 90%. But by breaching the terms of the 2015 deal so publicly, Tehran is hardening its response to the US's unilateral withdrawal from that agreement. The White House reacted with a warning. In a statement, the administration said, "The United States and its allies will never allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons. Maximum pressure on the Iranian regime will continue until its leaders alter their course of action. The regime must end its nuclear ambitions and its malign behavior." Later, the president spoke to reporters.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're playing with, and I think they're playing with fire.
The Israeli Prime Minister had his own warning.
When we exposed the secret Iranian nuclear archive, we proved that any nuclear agreement with Iran is built on one big lie. Now even Iran acknowledges this. Soon we will reveal additional proof that Iran has been lying this whole time. I say again, Israel will not allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons.
So they're saying they're not going to let them get nukes. They're playing with fire. And in the Pet Goat 2 video, which I'll actually pull up. I don't even have it pulled up. In the Pet Goat 2 video, there is a bombing of an Islamic site. And it looks like the Bushehr nuclear facility. Okay, I had a subscriber in Iran who suggested that first, said it looked like the nuclear plant in Iran. And there are some similarities. Now, it is multi-layered. A lot of the stuff in here is multi-layered, okay? But it looks like the Bushehr nuclear facility. So you have a bombing going on here, okay, of this facility. Okay, now it has a pointed roof with a crescent moon atop it. Okay, and again, this is a hybridization of different information. That's how I understand it. But you have this column coming up, and then you have this archway like this above the entrance. And it looks somewhat similar to the Bushehr nuclear facility. Okay, let's see if we can get a zoomed in view of it. Okay, you have an archway coming up, and then you have the domed facility and the column here. Now the column in the video is on the other side, but there are actually, from what I see on here, two of them, and the column is on the correct side in the second facility. Okay, I'll just show that to you right quick. All right, excuse me. All right, here you go. All right, so you see here how the column is on this side of this one, but on the opposite side on this one. Okay, so on this one it does match what you see in the Pet Goat 2 setup. Okay, so I think that could be indicated here to some extent. However, remember that the boy comes up out of the mosque, okay, which ties into Tammuz, and they try to say ties into Jesus. Okay, he comes up out of this bombed Islamic issue, and this head here we've talked about ties into. You'll just have to, if you haven't seen my videos, you'll just have to go watch them. Okay, and it's 4 pylons going up this trail and 5 pylons here. You see the 3 here on the backdrop of the dark sky because it deals with the lunar third as well. It is it confirms the date in 3 different calendars. Okay, actually 4, I believe, because it shows kind of a dual thing to go along with the Hebrew calendar.
Now, as many of y'all know, I am notorious for calling out the so-called Illuminati. And this is the first time that I've called out Russia. Not too long ago, I made a video called Finish Them, Game Over. Because the Illuminati ain't just the United States government. It's Russia. It's all these wicked motherfuckers. In the majority of these countries anyway, there's been, like I said, a lot of infighting going on. And some of these countries have been trying their best to get out of this shit. Speak a lot of truth. But like most of these motherfuckers, they got in too deep. It is what it is. So again, this is the first time in my YouTube career that I called out Russia. And I did it in that video without even mentioning their name verbally. I just showed a couple of images from iPet Goat 2. And in case y'all missed it, here it is. Now, let me tell y'all what's really happening. The gods who are walking this earth and all of the angels in the higher realms, we are doing what needs to be done in the real world, in the spirit world, to put an end to this shit. More and more what we are doing in the real world, in the spirit world, is manifesting in this fake ass physical reality. What we are doing, just like I said in a video I put up a little over a month ago, I said that we are no longer gonna fight against this negative energy, not in favor of this world. So we are gonna continue to do what needs to be done so this shit can end and we can go home. And all of these wicked ass people who fought for this wicked ass world, we are gonna let them have it. Tick tock. What more can I say? The motherfucking Grim Reaper strikes again. Jesus Christ, Son of God, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty then. Peace.
The Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper.